You know that I love video games, and one of my favorite video games of all time is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Please do not talk or look for the level called No Russian if you don't know about that. Maybe we could talk about that in another show. But I saw this picture, one of the first pictures of 2025, and not even 24 hours in, and 2025 just went full Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. This just reminded me of that game. Just reminded me a Cybertruck driven all the way to the front doors of Trump Tower on Las Vegas in Nevada, and seconds after it parked up front, it exploded. And just to be clear, the mainstream media really wants to make it seem like this was a spontaneous combustion of the Cybertruck. They have made everything in their power to make it seem, oh, this was a malfunction of the Cybertruck. No, there was a bomb planted, driven up to the doors. They did not realize that the build of a Cybertruck could withstand that force. They didn't think this through. They rented the Cybertruck in Colorado, drove all the way to Las Vegas, and did this. And the thing is that the chassis, the structure of the Cybertruck contained explosion, and the explosion went mainly up. So only 7 people were injured. The driver was the only deceased. And that is when the mystery begins. That's where the mystery begins, and that's what brings us to this mystery. One dead after Tesla Cybertruck explodes outside Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Well, the Cybertruck did not explode, had a bomb on the trunk. That is important. The sheriff said that gas canisters, camp fuel canisters, and large firework mortars were found in the truck. And Elon Musk chimed in, of course. The evil knuckleheads picked the wrong vehicle for a terrorist attack. Cybertruck actually contained the explosion and directed the blast upwards. Not even the glass doors of the lobby were broken. Imagine that. You know that you have the explosion, right? And you have the pressure of the explosion. That should have been enough to at least break the glass doors of the entrance. And you see how close was the truck to those glass doors, and those didn't break. It was amazing. Las Vegas police released new video of the exploded Cybertruck outside of the Trump Hotel, showing explosive ordinances in the back. Oh, this was the strength of the Cybertruck that allowed this to not go further. Yeah, I would like to get a Cybertruck myself. Maybe with all your super chats, I will get there eventually. Thank you for all your super chats. You're financing my eventual Cybertruck at some point. But this is the part that I find a bit odd. Matthew Levelsberger, 37 years old. People are saying that he was the one driving, or he was the one who died. Who was driving the Cybertruck when the Cybertruck, the bomb exploded. It was the driver of the Cybertruck that exploded in Las Vegas. Is listed on LinkedIn as an operations director and intelligence manager with a special forces experience. He's a Grand Beret as well. I'm going to jump this because this is his ex-wife. I think this woman had nothing to do with him by the time of the explosion. And in Go reported this as well. I looked into the background of Matthew A. Levelsberger, the 37-year-old from Colorado Springs who drove a Turo-rented Tesla and blew up at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas in a huge explosion. Levelsberger is also a U.S. Army veteran, like the New Orleans ISIS terror suspect, and they served at the same military base. That is too much of a coincidence, right? That is too much of a coincidence. Poppy Cakes, thank you for your super chat. God bless you, Jesus, for speaking out about this. And Elon too. Yes. Levelsberger is also used as veteran like the New Orleans ISIS terror suspect. Levelsberger LinkedIn is no longer online, but there are ghost remnants of his background. Special Forces Intelligence Sergeant, Defense Analysis and Strategic Studies degree from Norwich University. Something strange is that he apparently died from a gunshot moments before the bomb exploded. He died from a gunshot, apparently self-inflicted, with a Desert Eagle handgun. And if you know anything about guns, you would feel, you instantly would say, hey, wait a second. How is this special forces guy with such a vast experience? These are the best of the best. These are the elite. How a guy of this ability takes his own life with a Desert Eagle, one of the worst handguns in the history of humankind. I mean, if you have owned one of those, you know that it can be quite tricky, if not plain faulty in many instances. So it's like, I made the analogy that we were talking about the music. It's like Eric Clapton playing a farewell concert with a Temu guitar. That wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense. You don't do that. Okay, Jesus, but maybe that's what he had. Well, but it's odd. I found that odd. I really found that part odd. And everyone take a close look at the Ukraine shirt Matthew Levelsberger is wearing in this picture. And now new photo surfaces from LinkedIn that he inquired about a job in Ukraine as well. Does this have anything to do with the Las Vegas attack? He was recruiting people for a job in Ukraine as well. Natalie Miranda, thank you for your super sticker. I really appreciate that, Natalie. Thank you. The woke media says, don't believe your eyes, nothing happened. Yeah, Sky London, that is as well something that worries me. The Trump Cybertruck bomber Matt Levelsberger was trying to recruit fighters for Ukraine per his social media posts. This comes after a photo of him surfaced wearing a Glory to Ukraine. It's also worth noting that Ryan Ruth, who tried to take out Trump at his golf course, he was also recruiting people for Ukrainian jobs in Ukraine. And this is another thing that we don't understand. So the Green Beret, identified as the Vegas truck bomber, was burned beyond recognition. The guy was burned beyond recognition, and his weapons were disfigured. But his military ID was intact. What are military IDs made of? I mean, you can see it on X. You can see that it's a plastic ID. How come everything burned, and all of a sudden you find a very much you can recognize what that military ID says, his name and everything. Cybertruck, thank you, Viking. Cybertruck is bulletproof. We need to look into what's going on at Fort Bragg. Yes, but something going on at Fort Bragg. I don't want to say the words MK Ultra, but I already said them. I don't know. There's so many things, so mysterious. Let me see if I can find the picture of the ID of the guy. The ID was, okay, this is the picture of the ID. So you can see it for yourself. How is this possible? How is this possible that everything burns except for the ID? How convenient. Okay, this is your guy. This is your guy. Don't look any further. This is your guy. Oh, this is He was burned beyond recognition. The guns burn beyond recognition. But you have this. Don't you tell me that this is not suspicious. It was planted or something. I was asking the questions. Could he have been dead and the Cybertruck drove himself into that spot? And no, it's not possible. You need the person who is sitting on the driver's seat. Elon Musk already confirmed that has to be alive. It cannot be a corpse or something. No, it was he actually received the gunshot on the spot. If it's him, which we don't know, still don't know. DNA is still available. He could be recognized by, identified by DNA. It is my understanding. You know how it is. How long it's gonna take until we actually find out about what happened? It's gonna be some time, I guess. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. That's what I highlight your live chat